how are we creating shared economy for shared prosperity? And what are the different techniques and technologies that are coming out now? So we've got a couple of outstanding entrepreneurs here today, and they're going to talk about their different initiatives. I'm going to let them introduce themselves first, and then we're going to jump into a discussion. And if we have time, we'll do some Q&A. I know, like, we're getting close to the end of the day, so we're going to start with you, Christophe.
Hi, so I'm Christophe Lebars. I'm the chief architect of the Rouge project, which is a blockchain coupon platform. So I mean coupon like discount coupon. You go to supermarket, you want to have 20%, you have a piece of paper. Where it used to be paper, now it's digital. You have a code on internet, you find a website. But you probably notice that these codes are copy-paste, not so well useful as it used to be as paper. Because sometimes you copy-paste them and the website say, well, this coupon is not valid anymore. So if you put that on the blockchain, you solve lots of problems because the blockchain has Bitcoins make impossible to double spend a unit of value, currency, you can call it as you want. The same way the blockchain can make a coupon as digital, not being able to be redeemed twice. So this is the kind of problem we try to solve. So we are creating a new kind of coupon, which is a unique usage coupon, which is a tradable coupon, which is a coupon which makes fraud impossible. Fraud meaning like you cannot redeem it twice. You cannot repudiate it. The issuer cannot repudiate it. So this is an open source project, which is a protocol on top of Ethereum, built with smart contract. And it allows, what is important is permissionless, meaning that it allows anyone to build decentralized application, to build any kind of high-level software with use coupon. For example, brands could be small shop, could be big brands. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Clement. I've been investing in the US stock market like over 15 years ago. When Google IPO'd at 85, I bought it at $100. And over the last 15 years, the problem I'm trying to solve is asymmetry of information. I realized that big stock players are always ahead of the game and ordinary retail investors are suckers in the market. So a case in point earlier this year, Intel CEO sold off $35 million worth of stock when he discovered that there's bugs in the chips. And that's what's happening in the market. Now, I built this company called Spiking. We launched in 2016, supported by National Research Foundation back in Singapore. And you know what? What we did is we track all major sophisticated investors, what they buy, sell real-time or public listed company stocks in Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and United States. So you want to check out what Warren Buffett bought this month, you go to the app, you can see all this information. So as I was looking in this space, I got challenged by my friends from the crypto world and say, hey, Clement, why don't you apply your technology in the crypto market? I say, first, let's identify what's the problem there. In fact, crypto traders today got very limited data. They got 5 data points: open price, high price, low price, close price, and volume. You can't make decisions like this trading on 5 data points. And it's so crazy. Just now we were having lunch just earlier on. My friend, scientist William over there, he made $1 million net profit in 1 second. Check out Gifto. All right, the stock prices jumped, the crypto prices jumped 100% in one second. I said, I got to look at this space. And could we apply the technology, leverage our Spiking experience in the stock market into the crypto market? And we got the answer. The answer is yes. We are able to apply artificial intelligence combined with behavioral finance. We track over 300,000 sources of news to know what's exactly happening. And the layer of AI is going to help ordinary crypto traders to find and understand how they can view verified portfolios of real crypto traders, how perhaps they can copy their trades, enter in the market at the same time, and perhaps they can execute AI trading at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Lucian Tarnowski, and I'm founder and CEO of BraveNew.com. And I've basically spent the last 10 years designing and building digital communities. These are spaces that bring different stakeholders together around a shared purpose. And we do communities like healthcare reform, where we bring over 600 different healthcare stakeholders together, including 200 healthcare systems that represent 100 million Americans, bring them together to redesign the US healthcare system. And we do communities around things like education reform and veteran transitioning. And I have this true north that so many of society's problems stem back to the breakdown of communities. And if we could come back to community, we would be able to create more a thriving environment for us all, where we could prioritize community over capital. And I think that's the real opportunity here with blockchain. And the other thing I've seen is, as the decentralized economy is emerging, more and more people are talking about our community or the community, and often in reference to their Slack channel or their Telegram group. Great products, but not community products. Those are messaging tools and communication tools. And so what we're doing is we're developing now applications to enable those that are creating communities in the decentralized economy to create smart tasks to financially incentivize their communities. And we're working on launching a co-op which will allow communities to design their own incentives and work collaboratively to actually try to create a new economic system outside of capitalism that's about return to community. So great to be here. Thank you, Anu.
Thank you, Lucian. Okay, I'm going to ask Sergey to speak, and then Leah at the end, okay?
Hi everyone, my name is Sergey Shenderov. I'm co-founder and CEO of MomLife, which is a social network and messenger and now a digital economy for modern moms. It is a community, it is a global community of moms now spanning more than 1.1 million users. It is one of the most engaged apps in any category that I know of, where people spend 60 minutes per user per day. We are driving revenue from ad campaigns with more than 100 international brands who are really who's who in the CPG and FMCG space. We are the largest user content generating platform in the parenting vertical in the world now, with 10 times the posts in all assets of Baby Center that you may have heard about, who's the leader in the US, at least in the content space in this vertical. And we're venture backed. This demographic that we worked with for more than 10 years, we've previously built the largest social platform in the web for the Russian-speaking internet in this demographic, which reaches more than 40 million people. This demographic represents a huge economic power in any market that we are targeting. At the same time, individually, a lot of moms are economically challenged. I can talk about that later at a greater length, but basically, the digital economy and native cryptocurrency servicing the relationships among moms and between moms and various third parties that are advertising their products, services, and content to them represent a great financial inclusion opportunity. And we're basically giving moms back the ownership of their attention, where they can monetize it directly from everyone who's interested in their attention to their products.
Thank you, Sergey. Leah?
Thank you. So hi, my name is Leah Tarnowski. I'm the COO of Avron. It's an identity solution, and the way we see the world, in order for you to be able to operate effectively, you need to have trust. You need to have trust that you are protected, and you need to trust that who you are dealing with is really who you think you are dealing with. This is the solution we provide. We securely authenticate the user as themselves without the user having to do anything. So there is no downloads, there's no apps, there's no codes, it's completely friction-free, and we do that while protecting the user privacy. Because often today people confuse privacy and anonymity, and today you have anonymity, but you have very little privacy. You know, the way we work with blockchain is secure, but the weakest point still today is how you connect. And that's how most of the heists have happened, and other things. So we make sure that that point of connection, of logging in, is kept safe. Yeah, so we do that by sort of tracking the packets, and checking the origin. And, you know, that can help also with fake news. You know, knowing who is really posting, who is behind this, and other applications. So we believe in the power of trust, and want to bring that to the digital world.
Absolutely. So what we're really focused on here today is this new shared economy, and the foundations are obviously trust, and also bringing these parties together so that everyone is benefit, and shared prosperity is at the core of it. I am very curious, from your perspective, Lucian, how you feel. You know, we've got like a real opportunity when it comes to shared prosperities as we redesign these communities. What are you guys doing specifically, and where do you see the opportunity?
Yeah, so to my amazement, I was in Zug in Switzerland 2 weeks ago. To my amazement, nobody has tokenized a co-op yet. Co-op is an old structure, and you know, it's got one vote, one voice, one vote built into it. It's all about shared prosperity. It's got a beautiful history to it. And what I saw is this amazing opportunity to use blockchain to tokenize a co-op, to give people the ability to own the communities that they're contributing to really create a new form of entity, a new form of organization of people, capital and knowledge, because that's really the core ingredients of building any economy. And so when you look at, for example, foundations, 70% of money that goes into foundations and goes back out the door to raise the next, to raise more money. So it's hugely inefficient in terms of how it deploys capital. The question we're asking is there a better way by financially empowering communities to come together that aren't going and raising money to provide the sustenance for those communities, but actually raising money to fund people to solve problems? So there's a new way of designing these organizations that can be decentralized around communities. And that ultimately is like being the engine or the operating system behind the shared economy. Because in many ways, Uber is, yes, it's a shared economy company, but there's no reason why you couldn't have a localized Uber in San Francisco that's decentralized and owned by the people that use it. So that's how we're thinking about it and thinking about the community model.
So I want Sergey to comment on this, because you've got a community and you're tokenizing, you have intentions to tokenize them. Let's talk about that.
So, as I said, the digital currency brings a huge opportunity to this demographic as you know, as a battleground of mass adoption of cryptocurrency for the reasons that are fundamental to kind of the state of well-being of moms in both developed and developing markets. To give you some shocking statistics, at least they were to me when I discovered them, about the US, which is obviously our core market and a very developed one. You know, roughly 50% of births for the past 5 years were to single moms, and roughly 50% of births were on Medicaid, which, as many of you may know, to qualify, you have to be within a pretty narrow bracket above the poverty line, which literally means that, you know, the majority of our audience, of our target audience in the developed market, are you know, economically challenged individuals who collectively represent a very significant economic power, because they're still responsible for, you know, up to 80% of decision of consumer budgets and household budgets and related decision making. And that's in the developed markets. In developing markets, what we are effectively doing is we're building a platform where we're bringing you know, lots of individuals that are the majority of which are economically challenged and lack disposable income for a lot of the things that brands advertising with us, for example, want to sell to them, to a platform where brands and we can provide them with employment and earning opportunities related to what they're already doing very altruistically on our platform, helping each other, creating useful content and sharing their experiences, which is a visceral need for them before any economic incentives are in place.
You
and
also have data, correct? You're also collecting data.
that's a consequence of what we do.
Correct.
Yes.
And that data is super valuable. And one of the things that we were discussing over lunch was, we just don't know. Like, we want to include these communities. We want to be more inclusive. But how do you go about engaging them? How do you go about incentivizing them? One of the comments that was really interesting was Clement's company, and I'm going to let you talk a little bit about, what revelation you had today in terms of what you've been collecting all along.
And Anu, let me share with you an interesting stats that was released 2 weeks ago by CNBC. So how many of you heard of Robinhood, right? The zero commission fees brokerage house. It took them 5 years to register 3 million accounts, brokerage accounts. And 2 weeks ago, they announced that they're going to have crypto trading on the brokerage platform. It took them 4 days to register 1 million account on the waiting list. That is madness. That is what we call a generation shift. People are shifting to the crypto market. And when I attended a private banking event in Singapore, and the CEO of the bank stood up on the stage and asked, how many of you know the price of Bitcoin? And the audience was shouting back then was $14,000, $13,000. Second question, how many of you know the price of Dow Jones? Complete silence. Something is wrong here, right? So the shared economy that we envision is this. There are many great traders in the crypto world. Now, the problem is they only have one revenue stream. Buy low, sell high, make money. That is the trading profit. What if we can put in place an incentives or rewards whereby they are willing to share their portfolio of trades, whereby they are willing to allow others to copy their trades? And that's going to be very exciting. Because earlier on in today's presentation, we were talking about we're only at less than 10% of the potential of the crypto market. More and more people are going to jump on board the bandwagon, they're going to come in. And all these early innovators or traders of the crypto market, they can take advantage of it today by allowing others to tokenize their trading ideas, tokenize their trading portfolios, and tokenize their trading execution. And that's what we're going to do for spiking in the crypto space in our vision of a shared economy of shared ideas. Thank you.
Awesome. Leah, when it comes to trust in the shared economy, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about where you see the greatest opportunities for building, integrating some of these great concepts that you're hearing here today.
Well, I love the community aspect, and I think people participating in the shared economy should have a share in the economy. Be participants in every way. And again, I feel that comes back to identity, to trust. We know today, economies and countries that have higher level of trust have higher GDPs because every interaction is so much easier. So I think it is the foundation and the grounding of everything to grow from.
Fantastic. And Christoph, on that note, with your platform, it's anti-fraud, it's engaging these users. I mean, you're now giving the power to the users pretty much. Could you comment on this?
Sure. Well, if you want to be more general, the share economy was about creating new value with lots of people sharing stuff. Could be Uber, could be whatever. But in this new economy, we create lots of monopoles. And with blockchain, we have the opportunity to remove these monopoles. So we still have the user sharing lots of value, But in the middle, instead of having companies, we have software. And this is what we are doing in our small quarter with Coupon. But it just participates in these big waves of replacing middlemen with software protocol.
Thank you. So that's pretty much our, conclusion here today is that you can't have communities without trust. You can't have these shared networks without actually looking closer into protecting user identity, anti-fraud, and then this developing like this brand new community. You're gonna have to incentivize them through tokens. You have to collect the data. I mean, there's like huge opportunities here to get everyone engaged in different capacities, and overall, it is ultimately going to create prosperity for all of us if we do this correctly. So thank you all today for joining us, and thank you, panelists.
Thank you.
Thank you.